Hey guys, welcome back to the core. It is Arinda, and I'm here with Cara. We're here once again with a hot, juicy topic for you guys. I hope you guys are ready. Share this.
And I cannot wait for us to talk about what we have to talk about today. We're talking about cheating. And my first question to you, Ren, is do you stay if someone's cheating on you?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That is my final answer.
Tell me why.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because I'll never look at you the same. And honestly, I like being my best self, having a spirit of excellence. I want to be all in, and I will never, ever be all in.
Absolutely.
Never be all in after that. It's just too taxing on yourself. And you can't change anything about yourself.
Yeah.
Anything that I'm familiar with at that point.
Yeah.
If you like oatmeal raisin cookies, you better keep eating oatmeal raisin cookies.
Right.
Don't get a chocolate chip cookie. We're
Right.
going to have a whole problem.
Otherwise, who's the bitch?
Who is she? Who is she? And
Where the
honestly,
cookies come from?
yeah, and honestly, not even really being crazy, but once you know
Yeah.
that it happened, I don't even, something immediately disconnects for me. Where I know people that it's not their deal breaker, but for me, it is my absolute deal breaker. And I
Yes.
told my ex prior,
Mhm.
I said, we could be married for 40 years.
Mhm.
If you cheated on me year 2,
Mhm.
it's a wrap.
Uh-huh.
I'm no longer wiping that butt. I'm not going to be that nurse no more.
Yes.
And I thought that I was going to be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But you did something to me that you hid for this whole entire time. And it makes me feel like we weren't who I thought we were.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. What about you?
Definitely no, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did stay in a relationship with the person who was unfaithful, and I will never do that again. Partly because of exactly what you said. I did not feel like my best self.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was always suspicious, always on edge, looking for the red flag or the thing that was coming up.
Yeah.
And I feel like God always reveals to us when that thing is happening. I hear a lot of people say things like they go looking for the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to look for the evidence. It's always come to me, even
Wow.
if I didn't want it to, actually.
Wow.
So I told my husband, I said, I better not find out
The
that
hand
he's been
clap.
unfaithful.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
It
it's going down. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys have like such a healthy situation. What do you think that it would look like if how do you disconnect from somebody that you have such a healthy situation with, but you find out that it may not be what you thought it was because he did step out?
Yeah.
We have men actually look for that physical fulfillment, but women, we do it emotionally, usually, initially.
Yeah. I
I hear clients talk about having a work husband, but I'm sure your home husband don't know
Yes.
that this is what you're calling the work husband. So
Good point.
what do you think? Has your husband ever been cheated on?
It's funny that you say that because he has been cheated on and he actually did leave as soon as it happened. And so his policy now in our relationship is if it ever happened to him again, he would not leave.
What?
He would actually stay in the situation.
Wow.
But I know him. He's a justice guy. He's gonna get some revenge.
Oh yeah.
And it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
So I think though that kind of like what you're saying. The problem with cheating is that it breaks trust. Right.
Yes.
How do we have trust after such a thing has happened?
Yeah.
And it's difficult because kind of like what you said, I also have people who have stayed in relationships and come to therapy and want to figure out how to get over that hurdle. But the person who's been cheated on, they look at themselves poorly, actually. They judge themselves for having been in that situation.
Yes.
So it's really, really hard to repair.
Yeah, everybody that I know that stayed too, they try to overperform, or they look and say, what didn't I do? And they try to overperform, but they're basically separating themselves from themselves.
Right.
It is very difficult to restore and to be whole and one when you've done something to create this breach.
Yes.
This breach. And the thing about it is that the man or the person who cheated doesn't really, I'm going to talk about men because this is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
They don't know how to stay in the pocket with you while you heal. They want you to just hurry up and heal. Get over it.
True.
You've forgiven me. They think you've forgiven them, but they don't understand that they have to stay in the pocket. You didn't forget it.
Yes.
You're still trying. You love them so much that you're trying. Well, not me, because I would leave.
Yes.
But the women that stay, they're really trying to keep their home intact.
Yeah.
They want to keep their family intact. They really believe in the love that they share together.
Yeah.
But it's just very, very taxing, and especially when
Yes.
you're dealing with somebody that wants you to just get over it.
Absolutely.
Just get over
It's
it.
so true. And,
Yeah.
and I actually have a policy whenever I have a couple in my office that is going through that kind of thing is we have to have an open book policy. So if a person needs to check the phone for a little bit, they just have to have some patience with that person checking the phone while they can get their trust back and really know that the thing is over.
How does that go, though?
Normally the other person is like, I just want this to be finished and it's a violation and all the things that you're describing. And so it's a really difficult thing. But in order to reconstruct trust in that way, you have to start from scratch. And sometimes it looks like being very open about your life so that there's no room for suspicion. Yeah.
That's why, yes, it's just, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's stressful.
I couldn't do it.
What do you think about open marriage? Because I feel like we're talking about cheating, but that means that you have to have a monogamous relationship in order for that to happen. Do those things even still exist anymore?
Girl, monogamy is who you're with now.
Yeah.
Who you're with now. Like the last 10 boyfriends I had, I was monogamous. Back in the day when our grandparents were married, our grandmothers were primarily
our grandmothers were monogamous.
Exactly. And like my grandmother has been with one man her whole entire life.
Wow.
97 years.
Wow.
Well, they divorced when she was in her 70s, but she hadn't been with anybody else, but these days things are a lot different. I trip off of had a client who her husband had a baby on the way while they were married. And
I'm dead. I can't. Oh my gosh. Did she stay?
She stayed.
No judgment if you stay.
She stayed, yeah. She stayed. Wow. She stayed.
Are they happy?
She stayed.
Okay.
Okay. She stayed. I think that he's happy.
Okay.
He gets to have his baby around, and his wife is doing her best to disconnect from that experience that he had with another woman. Wow. And connect with this child who it's not the child's fault.
Yeah.
And she's doing her best to separate. But I just know that if the tables were turned, he would not stay with her. He would not stay with her if she had a baby on the way, or maybe, I don't know. I just would think that if she came and was like, this happened during our breakup, because they always want to use this happened during, that time that we were into it.
We were on a break.
Yeah, exactly. We were on a break, or we had a little breakup the week that we were apart from each other. This happened. But if that happened to her and she was actually carrying a baby, would he stay? There's a double standard. He absolutely.
Interesting.
Do you know anybody? Has anybody come into your office?
I actually know somebody personally that. Trying to think about how much to disclose because it's personal.
Yeah.
The person was got pregnant by another person while they were in a relationship, and the guy found out that it wasn't his child. Took the baby from this person and got a DNA test and found out it was not his child and wanted to stay. Actually, he wanted to stay even though he knew that he wasn't the father. The only reason why they broke up was not even because of him. So I feel like while yes, men are, a little bit hard on a woman when they cheat and have a difficult time and all of that, there are some men that stay. And I'm curious, usually when that happens, about what it is that makes a person want to stay, but maybe it's the love that they have or willingness to build trust, or I don't know, but it's a complicated thing, I think.
Yeah. So what do you think about open marriage?
Open marriage, I actually feel so here's the thing. I feel like it can actually happen. It could work and it could be a healthy thing. But me personally, one husband is enough. I feel like it's like a circus act. With the balls and spinning on the plates. And so I don't know how people do more than one person, but I feel like a lot of people, if they can have open communication, they can do it healthily. And figure out how to have some rules about it so that they feel good about the other person coming in and all that good stuff. So it's possible.
Wow.
We're like we're saying, we're in a time now where a lot of monogamy is not a thing anymore. And
I'm old school.
okay.
I'm old school.
Yes.
I am not for it at all.
Okay.
I feel like anything that you do 100%,
yes.
you cannot do that everywhere.
Yes.
You can't have 5 women and do it all in an excellent fashion.
Right.
You can't. So
Yes.
Everybody is coming up short.
Interesting.
And you are coming up short. And actually, you are short. Because if you don't know your worth and you're spreading it around like that, it doesn't make you a man. You are a male by gender.
Yeah.
But a man takes care of his home. He looks at everybody. I feel like men and women have 2 people inside of them.
Mhm.
A man has a male has a king
Mhm.
and a fool inside of him. A woman has a queen and a fool inside of her.
Interesting.
And you choose who you want to be
Interesting.
every single day. Every day. This world, especially in LA,
Yeah.
there's so many options out here.
Yeah.
You know, and you trying to build a kingdom with a man who is a jackass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's spreading himself all around, and you're speaking life into him, but he can't even hear it. And you're trying to cultivate this kingdom with this person who doesn't even know. You're speaking to the king in him, but he loves the fool in him.
Interesting.
He loves the fool. That's who he gloats about.
Interesting.
He's proud of the fool in him.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I just do not believe in open marriage. I believe that is an excuse. Don't get married because people that don't want to commit, they make excuses. They make excuses, and they make you look stupid, and they make it your idea.
Yeah.
They make you believe that whatever the narrative is to keep you compromised.
Interesting.
But you know, a woman, there is no way that a woman will let a man enter her, and she's comfortable with him entering other people. Something has happened to that woman.
Interesting.
If she can separate herself from this connection, intercourse.
Interesting.
You know, for me, I just do not believe in that at all.
You know what's interesting in you saying that too, because I think that when I'm thinking about first of all, I have a lot of female clients that are single women getting into open marriages, and they are now involved in these relationships with these people, partly because they feel like those are more honest than the cheating people that they have found historically. You know, so they feel like this allows everything to be more on the up and up. And it allows them to be able to feel like they have some level of like acknowledgement and control around the dynamic instead of trying to get monogamy and then it's not happening. Right. So I'm curious what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah, to me, that's a really broken woman.
Interesting.
That's a really broken woman. If you will settle for second place, never wins.
Sure.
Nobody remembers who won second.
Sure. Yeah.
Like you're comfortable. You would be comfortable with getting into this relationship with this man and this female and their brokenness, that they would even use you as a pawn. You're just a toy.
Yeah.
What made a woman feel like that she didn't have the potential to be first place? And you're comfortable with coming in and being their toy, and then you go home to deal with what you just did. How proud of yourself are you?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Why would you be qualified to be first place?
Yeah.
When you take second place.
Yeah.
When you're comfortable with that. Nobody is going to give you a title that you don't earn.
Yeah. Do you think that because I'm trying to decide in my mind whether or not we are the same society that cultivates relationships like your grandmother's who stayed in her marriage until she was in her 70s.
Right.
Do you think that we're still a society? Because I kind of feel like monogamy is the thing where people are like, if we're not official, then we're not monogamous. And then
but they need to be clear about what official is.
Yeah.
Because don't make somebody think that you guys are monogamous.
Yeah.
And you're out doing everything, and it's like, well, I'm not married.
Yeah.
Well, do you want her to continue to do that? Do you want her to go out and do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's the same society as my grandmother.
Yeah.
Not really, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I feel like we've evolved
Yeah.
because my grandmother stayed with a man that was doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm.
he wasn't monogamous,
Mm.
and she stayed. So she suffered a lot, you know, because she was heartbroken, you know. And so I believe that as women, we've evolved and we don't have to tolerate the things that she did.
Yeah. Do you, as a person that is getting out of marriage, do you think that you'll ever want to be in a monogamous relationship again? That's a real long pause.
Just funny. You know, this morning, actually, my prayer was that the Lord would allow my heart to open up and receive love, you know, because for a minute when you're healing, you're just like guarded,
Yeah.
you know, the same walls that you're hiding behind are keeping you from experiencing good too, you know, and I want to be able to be open up if that's his will. So I just prayed that this morning. We'll see, but I definitely, it will have to be monogamous.
Sure.
It will have to be monogamous. But right now, honestly, I'm just loving on God. I'm really cool right now, you know. But we'll see, whatever His will is.
Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
You sent a video that I thought was really good about it. Well, it wasn't really good at all. It was actually pretty sad. The woman who left. She found out her soon-to-be husband was
Yeah.
having oral sex in the limo
Yeah.
at their wedding.
At the day of the wedding, she was in her wedding dress and everything.
That is devastating.
That was devastating.
I actually wonder if she saved that woman.
Me too. Me too.
I'm curious about, because especially when you have people that are waiting for you to culminate your relationship and you have all these eyes on you, I wonder how you walk away out of a situation like that. I know that it's probably really, really difficult.
For me, it says a lot about him that you need to get that's what you need to do on your wedding day.
Right.
You totally are like trash.
Right. Right.
Totally trash. You're trash.
Right.
The fact that on your wedding day you could not even contain yourself.
Yes.
On your wedding day.
Yes. Yes.
That is.
He was measuring. He was getting his inseam measured, and it wasn't sex or anything like that. It was just fixing the tux.
Yeah, but okay, I like that you said that because some people. I had a client who doesn't think that her husband really cheated because he just liked to have oral sex. He liked women to do him. And I'm like, that is sex.
Interesting.
That is sex. So that's not cheating.
Yeah.
That is sex. You don't go away and learn how to be better at it.
Right.
So that he doesn't have to step out. He could have taught you.
Interesting. So he was saying that it was her fault because she wasn't good at
He
it.
didn't say it. He didn't say it, but that's what she felt. She felt like she hadn't mastered it. So he had to continue to go out to get it. And it wasn't all the time. It was every, I don't know, a couple of months. But he would tell her. His guilt, well, that's what he said. He would feel guilty. And he would tell her that he did it. And it made her feel like she had to take a course on it. But what I explained to her is, honey, he could have coached you himself. Right. If you guys were a unit, he could say, babe, let me tell you what I like. Right. Let me show you what I like, you know. But he stepped out on you. That says a lot about his character. Sure. And the fact that he would come back knowing that you would overcompensate is narcissism to me. Is narcissism to me. That he would come and present this, it's manipulation. Sure. Because I know now that I told you that I went out and got it, you're going to put your blackface on and be trying to you know, and perform. Right. Interesting. Not cool. Cool.
You're bringing up an interesting thing then, because I think then that the question is like, what is cheating? What do we consider cheating, right? I'm of the school of thought that any hoes out there getting any kind of emotional connection with my man,
yeah,
that's some cheating right there.
Absolutely.
So what do you think?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Any of the little flirting, you know.
Much less oral sex. Oh my gosh.
I know. Couldn't even showing another person any parts of your body that is like I'll never look at you the same.
Right.
You're trash. Even if I don't care if you're a gold trash bag amongst black trash bags, you're still trash. You're still trash. You know, I'm done. My mind, and I know that I'm extreme.
Yeah.
I know that I'm an extreme thinker, you know, I know that it would be, and I've told people, like, it's better for you to just, I'm telling you, you really don't want me now.
Mm.
You really don't want me now. Now that I know this about you, you don't want me now.
Yeah.
And that ultimately is what changes me, is when I can no longer be myself. I can no longer be my authentic self. I have to now be calculated, or, start to think too much.
Yeah.
No, I want to be free. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty.
Yes.
I don't want to be stuck in anything that I have to over analyze or overthink or want to be free
Excellent.
where there's reciprocity.
Excellent.
Right? But if I'm coming, oh no, you do not want me anymore.
Those trash bags are not, right?
No, you don't want me. Yeah, it's
Excellent.
better for them to go their separate ways.
Absolutely. So I told you my story about the person who's cheated.
Yes.
And it didn't turn out so well. Do you have any stories about open marriage?
I actually do. I have a family member who got married very young, and her husband told her that it was okay for her to have friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so she met a friend online, but he was in another country. He was in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband was kind of cool with it. He's like 10 years older than her. And he was cool with her having this friend. So she went to go visit the friend.
Mm-hmm.
And one visit turned into 2 visits, turned into 3 visits, turned into her now in the middle of a divorce.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And her in a full-blown relationship with the friend.
Wow.
That she met. And
Wow.
he has never been to the United States. He's on his way to the United States for them to spend 2 weeks together, and they're going to Vegas, they're going to San Diego. They're like hanging out.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be a switch of relationship. She's now in a relationship with the guy that she met.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it worked, it didn't work, did it backfire? But she seems to think that the husband had other stuff going on, and that's why he was okay with her having a friend. But I'm sure he didn't know that he would be losing his wife.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I think then that what that says to me is I wonder if it could work if the rules were clear and everybody abided by the rules. Because I wonder
what rules?
Like the rule of you can have friends, but that's it. Like in that situation. Yeah, in that situation, were they allowed to have feelings with the other person, or did?
But see, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, how do you not have feelings?
Yeah.
If somebody can come into a relationship with someone, a woman, I just keep talking about women, because we are receptors. Men are projectors. So men are able to have intercourse. Their organ is on the outside.
Sure.
Ours is on the inside. Yes. We have to let them enter us.
Yeah. So
if we have separated from that and we have no emotion and we can have intercourse, there's something wrong. There's something wrong, and it was impossible for my family member to do. There's no way you can be somebody's friend and go have intercourse with him and come back to your husband and look at him the same.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, whether you had intercourse with someone else and it wasn't good, and you came back and you appreciated your husband, and there has to be a change.
Sure.
Or you have intercourse with this person and he's better than your husband who you've been with for years, and it's mundane and routine and you're bored with it. And that's what happened. But there has to be a change unless something is wrong with you. The women, these bouty girls, you're out here sleeping with this one and that one and this one and that one, and you'll be, if the wife ain't doing it, I'm doing it. And that's her bad. No, girl, what's wrong with you?
Sure.
That you are comfortable with being a tool, a toy.
Interesting.
Well, what happened to you? Yeah. What happened to you? So, yeah, it's not cool. So, what would you say if that couple that I'm talking about, my family members, came in and now she's talking about leaving her husband for this guy?
Yeah.
And her husband wants your advice on what needs to happen, or wants to try to save his marriage?
Yeah, that's a
What would
great
you?
question. That's a great question. I would definitely want to get acquainted with the dynamic of the relationship in the first place.
Mhm.
So if they are in a relationship where they decided that they were going to be in an open marriage, I would want to walk it back and really understand what were the terms under which that was supposed to happen, and where were the terms violated, and what would it look like for us to repair from here. I would also want to know if the woman is willing to continue to live under those terms that were set originally. So if she wasn't supposed to catch feelings with the guy, is it possible for her to walk away from that relationship now, or is she unwilling to let that go? And what does the commitment level look like? Because I think that usually when those situations fail, when it is decidedly open, it's because the partners are not agreeing to the same terms. So one person wants to do something different than the other person.
Do you think that it's a sign of insecurity that he would allow his wife to go off and have a friend?
Mm-hmm. I definitely think not necessarily. What I see in my practice is it's for a lot of reasons actually. So it could be for insecurity. I know some people that have decided that their partners can be unfaithful because they've been cheated on in every relationship, and so they want to preempt the cheating by having that rule.
Make it their idea.
Exactly. So I've seen that, but I've also seen people who just have a preference that they have multiple partners. It allows their sex life to be spicy.
What do you think that people need to do to keep their relationship monogamous? Like to keep it sanctified.
Yeah.
Don't defile the bedroom.
Yeah.
Do you think that what do you give people advice on that? What advice do you give people?
So a couple things. I think that the first thing that's important is being sure that you guys wanted the monogamy in the first place. So that's something that's important, because sometimes people sign up for things and they agree to stuff and they don't really want to agree to stuff, So that first and foremost. But I also tell clients that sex is a pretty high percentage in a relationship. It's like 65%. That's what I tell my people. And that's because it says a lot about their relationship. It says a lot about the communication, the time that they carve out for each other, prioritizing, intimacy. There's a lot to be said about sex in a relationship. So I would say that it's also important to really consider what it looks like to have a healthy sex life too, because it's a well-rounded concept for sure.
I feel like back in the day, men, like it would lean towards the man performing more in the bedroom, and now it leans towards the woman performing.
Interesting.
It just seems like it to me. Like back in the day, Jodeci and all of them, like, it was about the man performing and getting you involved. Yeah. And now it's like lay back and you pop it and drop it and you know what I'm saying?
And you better do it good.
Exactly.
Right
or
now.
else. Or else it's a lot of pressure on women to perform these days.
Absolutely.
And then they never quite hit the mark. Whether it's social media and your man is following a whole bunch of, BBL pages and, all of these people. So I just,
That's interesting. And I think that part of it probably is just because we have this idea that there is this perfect standard now, and we have access to all these things. So we're just like, if you don't do it, she could do it. She could do it. She could do it. And unfortunately, we're setting all of ourselves up for failure because it's imperfect. We're imperfect.
Right.
So that's unfortunate.
Well, for me, I didn't find out anything, like I said, but you just know in your soul that something is going on and something has disconnected. And I'm just, so grateful for that, because I really believe in the old traditional marriage. I really, one man with his one wife and doing kingdom business together. And being completely vulnerable and yielded to whatever the need is of your spouse and your mate. And that's why I am completely off about it. But I do believe that there are good relationships still. There are people that really love each other and they're committed to each other and they are monogamous.
Sure.
And greater is he that is in us than he that's in the world.
Sure.
So we don't have to focus so much on what's going on in the world. When you focus, I want a godly man.
Yeah.
I want a man who understands he has the Holy Spirit and he is a king,
Yeah.
and he won't want to spread himself
Yeah.
every which way.
That's fair. That's
Right?
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that we're just in a time now where everything's flexible. Everything's fluid, So can it work if it's not monogamous? Maybe, Sure. I think that it's really just about having a conversation, finding somebody that fits with what you're looking for and what you need. You finding that monogamous person, somebody finding that open relationship if it's something that they want to do.
But let me say that no open relationships in the Bible worked.
Interesting.
Every Solomon, David, all of the men in the Bible that had multiple relationships. A lot of people say, it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible. Yeah, but did it work?
Interesting.
Were people happy? Were the women happy?
Interesting.
Yeah, you might be happy and tired, but are the women really happy? And at the end of the day, that woman that you're compromising may be the one that needs to be your nurse.
Interesting.
Interesting. Will she put you in the nursing home? Will it be Diary of a Mad Black Woman? You better be careful.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
bringing me back. I always learn so much from these conversations.
But I love talking to you because you are more open than me. And I feel like that is so awesome about our dynamic, but you're not open about your relationship.
Absolutely. I better not find out.
See, and that makes it
not
different.
Find out. Yes.
Yeah, so you guys hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about it. And we'll see you next time.